It may be New Year, but on the Korean peninsula, there's a return to some of the old belligerence of the past. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un told a special meeting of the ruling Workers' Party he would continue developing his nuclear arsenal. As Pyongyang welcomed in 2020, it marked the expiration of the deadline Kim had set for the US to come up with concessions in stalled denuclearization talks. So far, Kim has stopped short of resuming tests with long-range ballistic missiles or nuclear weapons, knowing that would risk losing what little chance he has of getting concessions from the US president.
Because Donald Trump has been probably the most consistent supporter for Kim Jong Un for negotiations between North Korea and the United States to actually continue. So losing his faith would be a great risk for Mr. Kim Jong Un.
This hardening of North Korea's position leaves the vague commitment by the two leaders to denuclearization now in tatters. It also marks the end, for now, of South Korea's efforts to mediate between the two powers. Seoul welcomed in the new year, back in the familiar position of facing an increasingly belligerent northern neighbor.
I think we can make a good relationship with North Korea, and I hope we can have a good discussion with Trump to improve things.
Attending a New Year's Eve party at his Mar-a-Lago resort, President Trump remained optimistic.
We have to do what we have to do, but he did sign a contract, he did sign an agreement talking about denuclearization, and that was signed, number one sentence, denuclearization.
Kim Jong Un also spent much of his speech addressing the need to develop his country's economy, with an emphasis on self-reliance. It seems to be accepted that crippling economic sanctions will stay in place and may even be further tightened as a punishment for any renewed testing. But the past 2 years of summit diplomacy, not only with the US, but also North Korea's neighbors, leaves the country far less isolated than it was before. And its continuing weapons development means it goes into 2020 with more advanced missile technologies and an expanded nuclear program. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Seoul.